So I said I was going to do a Q&A video, so I'm going to read the questions and I'm going to answer them for you guys. Which roofing gun, which roofing nail gun do you recommend and why? I like using the Hitachi because I guess it's just my preference. Like everybody has different preferences. Like when I first met my partner, he used to use the Boss Stitch all the time. And when I tried it, I just didn't like it because I felt like it had too much of a kick. Like it bounces when you nail, and I don't like that. And another problem with Boss Stitches is they don't really function properly when it gets cold outside. So that's another reason why I don't like Boss Stitches. Um, as for the super roofer, like I would choose a super roofer over a Boss Stitch, but I would choose a Hitachi out of like everything because with the super roofer, it kind of reminds me of a hybrid between like a Hitachi and a Boss Stitch because it has that kickback, and but it resembles a Hitachi almost. Um, Next question. Is there a certain roof angle you enjoy the most working on and why? Do you find any of them difficult? Tell us a little experience. Um, if I could always choose what pitch of roof to work on, I would just like pick unlimited 512s because you get them done faster. You don't have to worry about your shingles sliding off the roof or dropping anything off the roof. I feel like anything under a 512 is just like too low. And then as for steeper pitches, yeah, obviously steeper pitches are harder to do, but if you get good at them, like they pay more, so you make good money doing steeper pitched roofs too. And they're not so bad when you set up planks and the pitch hopper. I really like that because sometimes I'll just like hang from my rope and I'll put my pitch hopper, like I won't even use my pitch hopper, like I won't stand on it. I'll put it next to me and I'll use it to hold like my shingles and my bundles or whatever, and it works really good. Um, I like this question. It says, how do you balance mom life with roofing with it being such a physically taxing job? Do you ever feel like not today with the kid when the kids want to do things? Obviously, I think every parent goes through that. I think even with, it not even being a roofing job, there's going to be times where you're just tired, you're exhausted, you don't want to do nothing. And I think it's important to take that time for yourself as well as your kids. Like, self-care is super, super important. And I obviously take time away from my kids to spend with my significant other too, because that is super important. And you can't properly take care of your kids if you're not properly taking care of yourself. There are some days where like, no, I just can't do it. But then there's days where like I'll come home after work and we'll go outside and we'll play with the kids outside. We'll let them ride their bikes, their little toy quads, and play with their toys, and we'll take them for walks. We'll take them to the park. Um, it's just, I don't think you should overwork yourself. And it's kind of hard to find that perfect balance, but, just always take that time. Like, it's so important to take time away from work. Like, even if you feel like you can't afford to take that time away from work, if you feel like you really need it, because I was really, really bad for that when I first started roofing. I never took that time, like, not even for my partner. Um, but like this past year I spent, you know I took time from work just to do that because it's so important. And your well-being is so important too. Being there for your kids is so important, and for your significant other, it helps build a healthy relationship and really healthy lifestyle, and you feel better about yourself when you take time to do that. So yeah. Okay, so there's quite a few people asking how I got into roofing, and I made a whole video about this, but I'll just quickly go over it again. I got into roofing because I found a female roofing company out here that was hiring all girls. And, I used to drywall and I just kind of got sick of working with guys. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go, I'm going to apply for this job. I knew nothing about roofing, like at all. I didn't even know what a shingle ripper was. And that's how I got into roofing anyways. I started with that company, and then I ended up not working for that company anymore. I started with another company, and then that's when I met my partner, and that was, 6 years ago. So I've been roofing for 7 years in total, over 7 years in total. But 6 years ago is when I met my partner, and I've been, like I was really, really determined to roof. Like I really wanted to shingle. I wanted to get good at it, and I did. I started my company, everything, and yeah, and that's how I got into roofing. I just grew a passion for it, and I don't know what it is, but I'm sure like if you're a roofer, you know what I'm talking about. You just want to get so good at it. You want to get so fast on it. You just, you look at your work, you appreciate it, you love it. And yeah, that's how I got into roofing. I just grew a passion for it and I didn't want to stop. Um, So, as a shingler, when do you show up on a job site? I don't know if this was like kind of like a sexist question or not because I'm a girl, but it says as a shingler. So maybe this person just thinks that, shinglers are not supposed to like do other stuff. Um, as a shingler, I'm involved with everything on the roof, especially like because I run the company too. So I literally do everything. Like I line up jobs, I coordinate jobs, I do quotes, I go to work, like I rip, I prep, I shingle, I clean up, like do everything. How do I keep my clothes so clean without rips? I think because of the videos, it's you can't really see how dirty my clothes actually are in my pictures and videos where they are in fact dirty. Dirty hands too, like dirty fingernails, rough hands. I try to wear my gloves all the time because my partner does not like it when I go roofing without my gloves because he doesn't like the scratchy hands. Have you done cedar shake roofing and what is the life of a cedar shake roof? Okay, so I've only installed cedar once and I'm pretty sure it has like they last longer than shingles. So yeah, I've only installed cedar one time. I rip it a lot, but I don't really install it. Okay, so does it bother you when people stare at you from the ground? And did you ever had to go number one so bad that you want to release it on the roof when no one was watching? Why would I want to use the bathroom on the roof? Like that's ridiculous. Oh, okay. No, it doesn't bother me when people stop to watch because, I don't know, I guess I'm used to it. They just, they think it's cool. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me though. It doesn't really affect me. Um, and for the number one part, when I need to go bathroom, I don't go bathroom on the roof. I go to the store, the closest store. And sometimes homeowners are nice enough to let you use their bathroom. Somebody wanted to know that if I could do a video of installing prep. I do have a video like that. You just have to go scroll my video album, and you should find it in there. It's also on YouTube. I have a few of them on YouTube, I think. Okay, what forms of marketing strategy do you use for your business? I don't really market my business because I'm a sub crew. Like I mostly do sub work. Um, but with when I did advertise a little bit, I did do some door knocking. I made some brochures. I handed out flyers. I used Kijiji. Kijiji was good. Facebook Marketplace, and that was about it. Like I wasn't really full on doing my own jobs. I was mostly doing sub work, trying to grow. Best roof felt underlayment, 15 or 30 pounds. And how are you supposed to tell where the nails go? So for underlayment, I used to like using Rhino, but I feel like the quality of it is kind of like not good anymore because the last several Rhino paper we've installed, it's all been warped. We get the odd good one. Um, but yeah, it would have been Rhino, but it's not Rhino anymore. And Roof Mart is all right, I guess. I don't know if they have Roof Mart everywhere though. but roof nails. We don't use nails, we use hammer tackers, which is really common in our area. I know other places like in the States or wherever use cap nails. We don't use those. I don't, that's just how it is. And a lot of people pointed out on my page, but no, we don't. We use staples. Um, and just the main parts that I like to focus on when I'm installing prep is the top part of the paper and the bottom part, especially when the roof is, when the roof has a good slope to it. Um, if you step there, it'll rip the paper out. So it's just better to put like extra nails there. I mean, extra staples. Um, Also, windy days. Oh, steep roofs too. I tend to use more staples on steep roofs, especially in the wintertime, because when you're putting on like a row of ice and water or deck base or paper, it gets really, the roof is slippery, and then you're putting a row of paper that's slippery too. So I try to use a lot more staples in the wintertime. Have you ever worked with other roofers you met on Facebook or Instagram? I have worked with the world's okayest roofer, aka Bucky Beaver. Yeah, I worked with him a couple times. Um, I'm just starting to collaborate with BDR, which is the best damn roofer, Joshua Bigger. I know most of you probably know him. I'm gonna be doing more work with him in the near future. Did I go to school for roofing? No, I did not go to school for roofing. Um, like I said, I was drywalling, and I just started with a roofing company. I don't think we have school for roofing out here. It wouldn't be a bad idea though, because man, we need roofers out here. Would you recommend a metal roof or shingles? I don't know nothing about metal roofs, so I can't, give you a recommendation on that. Um, I think they're cheaper than shingles. I'm not sure, but I don't know how to answer that. Sorry. Okay, how do you start your roofing? Going to attempt to do myself. I think he means do his own roof. Um, my recommendation would be not to do that because you'll probably mess up your roof, and to hire a qualified roofer, but make sure to do your research. What's the craziest roof you ever did and the pitch of it too? We don't have very many steep roofs out here. I think the steepest I've done was a 12-12. Um, and the craziest one would have had to been, I would have to say this church that we did, not last summer, but 2 summers ago. That church was a pain in the arse. Um, it it was just so many different sides and valleys and little spots, and it was a nightmare. It took us like 3 weeks to do it, and it wasn't even very many bundles, but it was just so tedious. Like everything that we had to do on it was that job was a nightmare. What's your favorite food, and have you ever been to Chicago? I've never been to Chicago. And my favorite food, that's a tough one because I love food. I would have to say seafood. I'm a big fan of seafood. I love my crab legs and mussels and scallops. It's so good. I love seafood. My favorite part of roofing, I like ripping and I like shingling, but I hate prepping. So, yeah, I would have to say ripping and shingling is my favorite part of roofing. Um, when you just get into it, you're just like in the zone, and you just like with ripping, sometimes I try to go like really fast, and I'll try to beat everybody, like I'll try to get the most rip out of everybody. And shingling, obviously, I like shingling. Um, you just get into that rhythm, and just, yeah, just slamming bundles. It's like therapeutic almost. And then you get to look at your work after that, and you're like, damn, I did that. Okay, how long have you and Johnny Boy been married for? What is your ultimate goal in life? You trying to own a big home someday? Me and John are not married. but we're engaged. So we're not married, but we've been together for over 6 years. And my ultimate goal in life would, I grew up really poor. I never had a nice house. I never had nice things. Never had name brand clothes. We didn't always have food. And I remember always being so thirsty when I was a kid, and there was just like never anything to drink. But I want to, raise my kids in a different environment, like completely different from what I was raised in. My ultimate goal would be just to I don't know. I don't want to say I want to have a big house someday, but I want to have like something comfortable, and I want my kids to be like set for life, and I want to be set for life, and my grandbabies set for life. I don't have grandbabies right now, but when I get old, obviously, I want to give them all of that. And one of my other big goals is to start a program for women to help women, and I want to help them through roofing because roofing literally saved my life, and I feel like maybe not all women can experience what I experienced, but I know that some of them could probably experience that what I've experienced. Like I feel like if I don't know, roofing is just it made me a better person. I feel like it could have the same effect on other women as well. If I weren't roofing, what would be my profession of choice? I would have to say probably doing hair, because that was what I originally wanted to do, was hair, and I'm a roofer. Completely different. I don't know. Okay, it says, do you like step flashing or turn back flashing? Everyone here in Texas uses turn back. I don't know what turn back flashing is. I've never heard that term before. But step flashing, yeah, we use a lot of step flashing out here. How do you keep your balance? Have I ever fallen? I've never fallen off a roof before. I've had like close calls, but never fell off or anything like I think I'm just careful, I guess. And how do I keep my balance? I think when you're roofing for a long time, you get used to it and more balanced, I guess. How do you measure a roof for shingles? I use this website called Roofer Report, I think, or Roofer, but they measure the roof for you, and you just have to do a little calculation, and then you get the amount of bundles you need and stuff like that. So that's what I use. It's called Roofer Report. Do you ever do standing seam? No, I do shingles, mostly shingles, sometimes rubber, and cedar only one time. Does anyone still use aluminum flashing in valleys anymore? Again, if you check my pictures, my videos, and you'll see that we do occasionally use metal valleys, but not very often. The most common installed valley in our area would be a closed cut valley. How do you handle extreme pitched roofs? Again, we don't really get too steep of roofs out here. But when we do, obviously, jacks, planks, hitch hoppers, always tied off all the time. When are you going to arm wrestle big time? I don't think I'll ever arm wrestle him. Obviously, he's going to beat me. I think that's it for questions. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for supporting me and following my page. And I love you guys all. Yeah. Have a good night. Bye.